It's now 9 o'clock, and we're going to go ahead and get started. The monthly meeting of the Fairfield Glade Community Club Board of Directors will come to order. This morning's meeting is open to all members of the community club and is being recorded for viewing on the community club website. This morning in particular, as we honor America, I'll ask you to join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence to remember all those who have served and are serving in uniform. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pat, would you please call the roll of the board members?
Here.
Present.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Thank you, Pat. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the previous board meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the prior board meeting that was held on July 22nd, 2021?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The minutes of the July 22nd board meeting are approved. This morning in the audience, we are again honored to have Cumberland County Mayor Alan Foster is present. Our 9th District County Commissioner Colleen Mall is present. And our 6th District Commissioner Joe Sherrill is also present. Mayor, would you like to make a few comments?
Thanks for having me. Can you hear me? I always tell you I'm going to be brief, Ken, but I really mean it this time. So I will be brief, and I want to thank Pat for the jams. I really like those. The brand new pair, I can tell. They look great.
Getting some feedback there, guys.
Checking.
Test.
Are we good?
There you go.
All right. Just very few items. The commission did approve the budget on August 10th, so we've gone over that a couple of different months. What was in that balanced budget, no tax increase, with taking care of a lot of county needs, and that is done. Do want to touch on COVID just a moment this morning. Our numbers are high. They continue to increase. As of Tuesday, latest data that I have as of when I left the office this morning, 696 active cases and 153 deaths. Our high was 861 in January, and all indications are it continues to be in the hospitals, mostly unvaccinated in the hospitals and in the ICUs. CMC is going to be releasing more data on their patients, and I hope to have that maybe as soon as this afternoon. And as soon as I do, I will do a newsletter to let you know what we have on that area. The third booster dose is now available for those that are eligible and that want it. It's for moderately and severely immunocompromised, and if you need details about that, I would suggest you just contact the health department directly. As of this point in Cumberland County, we have 42% that have had at least one dose and almost 39% that are fully vaccinated. Health department is still doing free testing, free screening, and free vaccinations. As you can guess, the volume is up, so your patience is appreciated. And that is all I have. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Or, yes. I haven't done the per capita lately because it's been bouncing all over the place. With positivity rates and everything. But if you rank us by, say, number of active cases, we're the 22nd, as of the new census, we're the 22nd largest county in the state by population and 23rd, and we're around 21 or 22 on active cases and all that. So as far as that goes, we're falling in line. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Ball, do you have any comments you'd like to make? Commissioner Sherrill? Thank you. All right, then we'll go to the across-the-board message for August. Back in June, when we shared our across-the-board message, we made little mention to the coronavirus other than the comments regarding that we were returning to business as usual. Unfortunately, since then, the coronavirus Delta variant infection rate, vaccination numbers, and masking have dominated the news cycles once again. So this morning's across-the-board comments will begin with an update on the coronavirus. As we have stated on many occasions in the past, it is your individual choice as to whether or not you feel comfortable using our facilities or participating in our planned events. This morning we affirm that each of you have the right to choose where you get your information, who and what you believe to be the truth. You choose if you want to wear a mask, and you make the choice if you will be vaccinated or not. Those decisions are a matter of individual choice, and we respect your right to choose what is best for you as an individual. As community leaders and members of a community, we also have certain responsibilities to one another. We all share a common responsibility not to do harm to one another. You have every right to drink. You just can't drink and drive. You have every right to smoke if you want to. You just must limit your smoking to designated areas. No one likes rules that limit our individual choices or our behaviors, but we respect the need for certain individual limitations to promote the common good or to protect one another from harm. What the past year and a half of the coronavirus has taught us is that strict rules that mandate what we can and cannot do only serve to polarize and divide us. We will not arbitrarily impose restrictions based upon what we believe, but rather will use the public health advisories and any governmental guidelines that are issued as our guiding principles as we set recommendations for the community club. We will do this to promote the common good and to protect the community club for potential legal exposure. At this point, we strongly encourage each of our members and staff members to consider being vaccinated for the coronavirus to protect yourself from being infected and from infecting and spreading the virus to your loved ones, your friends, and your neighbors. We also strongly encourage each of our members and staff to wear a mask when you are inside in close contact with others if you do not know if they've been vaccinated, whether you are vaccinated or not. We respect your right to choose. We ask that you act responsibly, and we ask that you take reasonable actions to protect yourself and the others around you. We trust that you will make the right choice. In just 2 weeks, we will observe the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attack on our nation. We will never forget the images of the falling towers in New York City, the Pentagon on fire, and the field burning in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Nor will we forget the brave souls who were injured or died while trying to save the lives of the victims of those attacks. 20 years later, we are reminded how precious our freedoms are and how much we rely upon the men and women who defend them. We are equally reminded how dependent we are on those who protect us in our communities, coming to our assistance when we are in danger or at risk. We cannot take for granted those who take the oath to protect and serve their communities and all they do to provide for our safety and well-being. This year, on Saturday, September 11th, the Veterans and First Responders Memorial at Fairfield Glade and the Fairfield Glade Community Club will be hosting a special salute to heroes at the square in Fairfield Glade. The program will begin at 1:30 p.m., followed by live music from 2 to 4 p.m., with a performance by Melissa Ellis, a well-known popular Crossville entertainer. The concert is free of charge to the public, and concession stands will be available for food and beverage services beginning at 1 p.m. We invite and encourage all of our members to join us in our salute to heroes and to take the time to thank them for the dedicated service to our community. Here are the latest updates on our major capital projects. We continue to experience strong positive response to the Mirror Lake entertainment area known as the Grove. We will be adding additional food vendors as needed to meet increased demand for event goers, and we continue to enjoy an exciting summer entertainment season. The newly renovated Stonehenge Grill continues to experience strong support and usage from the community. The new Racket Center building with the pro shop, gathering area, offices, storage rooms, and restrooms opened on August 4th. Renovation work is now underway on the original pro shop area, temporary entrance, and check-in location. We are optimistic that the project will be completed in November, depending on the weather and material availability. We have started the initial planning for the next phase of the Robin Hood Park expansion project, and we are expecting the results of the site surveys in the next week. We look forward to additional community amenities in time for Memorial Day next year. At the Heatherhurst Clubhouse, our architect is working on the 50% construction plans so that we can get updated estimates from a contractor on the expected costs. The Druid Hills Golf Complex, we recently announced that we have our Druid Hills Advanced Planning Team, and they continue to work on the initial planning process to determine what the next Druid Hills Clubhouse facility should provide for our growing community. Information concerning the Druid Hills Advanced Planning Team can be found on the Community Club website and will be announced periodically. And that is our August update from across the board. With that, we'll now turn to the Treasurer's report. Bruce?
Good morning. How's everybody? Can you hear me? You're here? Okay. As I go through this, again, I'll remind you the numbers in parentheses relate to the numbers in parentheses on the charts that follow, just so you can follow along with me. We continue to be strong financially through the first 7 months of 2021. In sewer, we started the year with a little over $3 million of cash. We ended July with $3.5 million of cash compared to $2.8 million of cash at the end of July last year, and that's a positive change of over $763,000. For the Property Owners Association, we started the year with $2.5 million of capital cash and ended the month of July with $1.1 million of capital cash. Again, I'll remind you the primary reason for that reduction is the payoff of the Stonehenge loan. Let's see, then we started the year with $3.7 million of operating cash and ended the month of July with $5.9 million of operating cash. We started the year with a total cash of $6.3 million, ended July with $7 million compared to $5 million at the end of July of 2020, which is a positive variation of nearly $2 million. On the cash flow sheet, sewer continues with strong results and a positive variation to budget of over $193,000, continuing to be driven by higher than expected tap fees due to more new home starts, reducing grinder pump maintenance, and reduced wages and benefits due to some open positions which we are having a difficult time filling. The POA net operations has a positive variation to the budget of over $439,000. The major contributors to those positive variations continue to be higher than expected assessment revenues and recovery of bad debt due to an increased emphasis on the collection efforts, which equates to a total positive variation of $60,000 just in G&A. From our open positions, from G&A expenses, which are positive $122,800 to budget. driven by the wages and benefits from our open positions and reduced training expenses as well. Also, in marketing and events is positive, over $64,000, driven by stay and play income exceeding budget by $40,000. Public Works is favorable to budget by over $210,000, which continues to be driven by savings in wages, contractor services, reduced maintenance, plus higher than expected revenues from home building permits due to increased home construction. Amenities net operations is positive, over $475,000 to budget, with F&B being favorable to budget by over $52,000. Golf continues to experience a very busy season, experiencing 8,453 rounds above budget. Out of that, our members contributed about $1.4 million in golf fees, while our guests, including packages and timeshares, contributed $1.7 million in golf fees. The marinas contributed a positive variation to budget of over $122,000, which continues to be driven by increased revenues from slip fees and pontoon boat rentals and reduced costs in wages, benefits, and operating expenses. Finally, the center is $79,000 favorable to budget, driven by favorable wages and benefits from open positions and reduced energy bills. Overall, POA and amenity operations is favorable by over $915,000 compared to budget, which continues the trend for the year. Last month, I mentioned that we are pursuing a $7 million line of credit. I had said I would give you an update. The bank is still in the process of coming up with the assessments. The appraisers were here on site yesterday to tour both Druid and Dorchester, and so we should have those assessments in the next couple of weeks. So next month I'll be able to give you a much better update once we get those assessments back. Any questions? Okay, thanks.
Next item on the agenda is the general manager's report. Bob?
Okay. Thank you. We, excuse me, we've now received all the easements for our directional signs along Peavine from both the developer and Wyndham. So we'll be starting that process here in September, and the first one we'll be doing is the one just before Stonehenge. So that's the major one. We want to start with that first. The new paved path on Catoosa from Peavine Road to Village Drive is in process. So hopefully that will be finished soon, and that will really connect that whole core area then where you can walk along Peavine, walk up Catoosa to Village Drive and what have you. We've actually, VEC has installed some street lights along Peavine, still a few more to go, but so you should notice that at nighttime. And again, if you have any issues with that or you feel like they're not sufficient, please contact our Public Works Department and we can work with VEC to make adjustments and what have you. And then Bruce mentioned golf rounds. We're about 8,000 over budget. Year to date, 86,000 rounds, and continue strong on the average rounds per course with 116 compared to 105 in 2019. So we're having a very strong year in golf. That's all I have.
Thank you, Bob. Barb, the resort report.
Good morning. Wyndham timeshare visitors month to date is 4,524, and year-to-date visitors 38,151. As far as timeshare revenues for 2021, the center year-to-date $11,712, which is 6% of like revenue. Racket $6,900, which is 5%. Dartmoor $99,381, which is 42%. St. George $41,040, which is 24%. Golf $470,215, which is 11%. And food $153,292, which is 19%, for a grand total of over $750,000, which is $782,566, which is 14% of like revenue. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. The Architectural Control Committee update. Sam?
Thank you. Through the month of July 2021, miscellaneous approvals, which is changes to the exterior homes, is 1,145 compared to this time last year was 1,073. New homes approved through July of this year is 65 compared to 50 last year. New homes started this year is 54 compared to 50 last year. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Sam.
Yes, sir.
The next item on the agenda is under unfinished business, which is the revised voluntary lot transfer policy. And Greg, did you want to give us an update on that, please?
Sure. The revised lot transfer policy for financial hardship has been posted in accordance with our rules for 30-plus days. We received 11 comments, 5 of which were positive, just saying they approved and liked the policy. There were about 4 that had questions about they were really misses in terms of spelling, and we missed a number there. We skipped a number, and everyone wondered why number 4 went away, so we got number 4 straightened out. Where there were 2 comments that were substantial, I would say. They were really questions about the policy. We responded to those, and the word that came back was everything was okay. So we did respond to every comment, question, or concern that was raised, and everyone got those responses within 24 hours of submitting them. So at that point, we're ready, I think, to approve this. So I make a motion that we approve the voluntary lot transfer policy for financial hardship reasons, and that it go into effect on August 26, 2021.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The voluntary lot transfer policy update has been approved. Under new business, we have a request regarding the United Fund doing their door-to-door campaign between October 1st and November 14th. Jeannie?
I make a motion that the board approve the request from the United Fund of Cumberland County to conduct their annual door-to-door campaign in Fairfield Glade for the year 2021.
Okay, is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? United Fund request to do their annual door-to-door campaign is approved. This morning we have one purchase requisition on the agenda. It is for the salt storage building. Sam?
Yes, sir. I have a purchase request before the board for a salt storage building in the amount of $121,349. This salt storage building will be in the maintenance area, and it will increase our salt capacity and also allow us to move some storage capacity from the current building, which is reaching the end of its useful life as storage for salt, to a new building.
Okay. Does the board have any questions about that? Is there a motion to approve the requisition?
I so move.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
I just have one comment that I'd like to add to what Sam said. Because of the availability of the storage building, they will be able to be purchasing in larger quantities and save money.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The salt storage building PR for